Hi, Room 10. We are back for some more math. We have been talking about two-dimensional shapes, and we have been talking about equal parts of those two-dimensional shapes. So remember, we had our whole cookie, and we divided it into two equal parts. They were equal. And when we have two equal parts, we refer to those as halves. One of those two equal parts is a half. Well, today we're going to kind of go back and remember when we took our cracker, I didn't just share it with me and you that time. I shared it with me, you, Freddie, who likes crackers, and my husband. So there were 4 people. And so we had 4 equal parts. When we have 4 equal parts, we refer to that as fourths. See, 4 fourths. So a whole that is separated into 4 equal parts is separated into fourths or quarters. Fourths and quarters means the same thing. Now you may be thinking, wait, a quarter like this, like money? And yes, they do relate, because if I take 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters, I would have 1 whole dollar. Now, I do not have a dollar as a prompt, so I apologize for that, but I don't happen to have a $1 bill. But 4 quarters is a dollar, so quarters means fourths. It means something broken into fourths, and yeah, that's where this name comes from also. So, we have fourths. We refer to one of those parts as a fourth or a quarter. So I could say this is a fourth or a quarter of the whole. Going back into what we did before. So one of those 4 equal parts is a fourth. Another way to write that, 1 of 4 equal parts. And we would say that is 1/4 or a quarter, and you all know what this is. It's a fraction, 1 of 4 equal parts. So we have another math page today, or math pages, I should say, and we are going to do the front side. So what you're going to do with this quarters and fourths, here it says, separate the rectangle into 2 equal parts, then separate it into 4 equal parts. Shade each part a different color. Now separate the circle into 4 equal parts, shade each part a different color. Now it tells you to divide it in half first, to separate it into 2 equal parts. There's a reason. When you're separating into fourths, it is so much easier if you start with it in halves. Let me show you. So I'm going to kind of come here, and I'm going to pretend here's my rectangle. Kind of looks like a square. It is a rectangle. You don't want to kind of do that because it's really hard to make it look even. So it's so much easier when you're dividing into fourths to divide it into 2 equal parts and then divide it into 2 equal parts. It's just an easier way to do it, and you will have much more equal parts than trying to do it separately. So that's why it says to do it into 2 equal parts first. So that's what you're going to do here. On the back side, there is some information for your grown-up to read to you. Here it says, write how many equal parts make up the whole. So how many equal parts? How many equal parts? Here, draw lines to show 4 equal parts. Write how many fourths. So you're going to divide these into 4 equal parts and write how many. Talk to your grown-up about this. You don't have to write it, but how are halves and fourths different? Talk to them. See what you think. On the 3rd page for numbers 5 and 6, follow the directions carefully. A quarter of each shape is missing, so that means 1/4 of each shape is missing. Draw the missing quarter. So there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, you need to draw another part on there. 1, 2, 3. You need to draw that other fourth. Color a fourth of each shape. Write how many parts are shaded. So that's what you're doing here. 1 of the 4 parts will be shaded. By the way, you don't have to use crayon. You can just color it in with your pencil. That's perfectly fine. Color 1 equal part, fill in the numbers. So I don't know why they separate. It's kind of the same instructions for both. And you're going to do the same thing here. So color one equal part and then fill in the numbers. On the back side, I have to read this one because it's so seldom I see this happen. It says, Heidi has a cookie. She and 3 friends want to share the cookie. How many equal parts does Heidi need? I never see Heidi in word problems, so I'm very excited to see that. So make sure you do that. I am Heidi, and I'm going to share with 3 of my friends. So make sure you divide that cookie up so we all get equal parts. Here it's Adrienne draws a line on the rectangle to show equal parts. Then she draws another line to show more equal parts. Describe what happens to the sizes of the parts. Oh my goodness, think about that. I'm going to go back to that rectangle. Look at the size. I'm sharing this cookie, cracker, it's a square cookie, graham cracker, we'll call it graham cracker, with 2 people. But if I decided to share it with 4 people, do we get as much to eat? Think about that. What happened? It's the same size whole, but are we going to get the same amount? Okay, so today we added on to our halves and our equal parts and our wholes by adding quarters and fourths. And those words really mean the same things. They're interchangeable. So you're going to go ahead and do that. And I look forward and I'll see you the next time. Bye, guys.